On Friday morning, March 11th, news broke about the earthquake and tsunami in Japan and the impact of both on the country's nuclear plants. ANS responded immediately with an intense proactive media campaign, and by Friday evening, ANS members appeared in the New York Times, the Los Angeles Times, and on CNN. More interviews were arranged throughout the weekend, and by Sunday, members were quoted on the Fox News Channel, the CBS Evening News, and in the Washington Post.
Nuclear safety consultant Margaret Harding.
On behalf of the American Nuclear Society, our hearts go out to what's happening in Japan and the earthquake and the tsunami and the devastation. I especially want to congratulate and honor the workers at the plants whose families and homes have been lost, and yet they've stayed on the job. The longer they stay, the more dangerous it becomes for them. But I think it's a testament to their guts for them to say, we'll stay. And if it means we go, we go.
The workers that are staying behind to work on this plant really are going to be heroes. They're probably not thinking necessarily that they're putting their lives on the line. Much like I think when a firefighter runs into a burning building, they're trained to do a mission.
Dr. Charlotta Sanders of the American Nuclear Society.
On the behalf of men and women of the American Nuclear Society, I want to say that our thoughts and prayers are with our friends in Japan at this point in time.
If the reactor is not cooled properly, the tubes can fall apart, with the radioactive material falling to the bottom.
It's like a car accident. It can be a fender bender all the way up to a major collision. So when you talk about fuel melting, you can have just a few pellets melt, or you could have a large number of pellets to melt. Even if there were a significant release, it would be dispersed probably before it came to the United States. But at the present time, it seems unlikely that there will be a major radioactive release.
Let's bring in Howard Schaefer of the American Nuclear Society. 1,000 times the normal radioactivity levels around that plant, but they say the public should not be concerned. Do you buy that?
Yes, I do. From everything I've seen and heard, it sounds like the Japanese officials are right on top of it.
You know, they have ways to basically recover and contain this thing. Even if they have a breach of containment, I don't believe there's going to be significant material ejected because they have plenty of coolant water going in there. From the moment they turned on seawater to go into these plants, that plant is done as an electric producing utility plant.
The reactor has undertaken both a monumental earthquake as well as a monumental tsunami. Reactors around the world, but certainly here in the United States, which I think is part of our focus, do impose specific requirements for seismicity, threat against an earthquake, against tsunamis, against tornadoes, against a variety of different natural phenomena.
Workers are hooking electricity to try to get the pumps running. But what if the pumps are damaged beyond repair?
There's so many other factors that I'm not going to even start to guess on how complicated that gets.
U.S. engineers have developed a plan to fill the tanks with sand and other materials. The Japanese say this is not feasible, but outside experts disagree.
The idea with putting sand on the spent fuel pool is that it provides protection so that they can come back in and put water or something else on. It's going to shield that, stop the radiation from leaking out, slow down all of what's going on, and give them time to make the next step happen.
These are important decisions about people's lives, emergency evacuation procedures. These clearly need to be made with clear directions and not obfuscating. That's the way we do it here in the United States. That's the way certainly needs to be done.
The real issue right now are the spent fuel pools, where those are open, they are uncontained, and we've really got to get water on those to make sure that there's not additional problems.
Don't worry about the radioactivity. Don't go out and buy iodine pills. Don't buy radiation detectors, and that's all prudent information. Our government is being straightforward with people. They're giving them honest information.
We certainly are prepared in the United States. I think what's important for the public to know is these plants are designed in a very robust manner. They're also designed so that they hypothesiate an accident, and if that occurs, then the systems are designed to contain those. So I think we're in very good shape in the United States.
Within 1 week, more than 100 interviews were conducted, resulting in media coverage reaching more than 25 million households. Interviews were arranged on every major network and in publications nationwide, including the New York Times, the Washington Post, and the Wall Street Journal. Within 3 weeks of the event, more than 250 interviews of ANS members were conducted, reaching 85 million, or more than 26% of U.S. households.